recycling a lot of these materials, we wouldn't need that many landfills. And it turns out that recycling uses less. When businesses take the recycled materials that we sell them, they use up less electricity, less energy, create less pollution, and save landfill space by using the materials. The middle of 2007, all of a sudden globalization hit the world commodity markets, which meant that more countries were trading with one another and raising actually income of people all over the world. And it was a great period. Unfortunately, due to the world recession that came along after that, all the prices collapsed. But I believe that globalization isn't going away, and I think the prices will be going up for all the commodities again. What I really wanted to do in my life, because I get the extra return of, I'm thinking, doing something good about the environment, in the meantime trying to run a business that we would try to make money in.
What do people have to do to recycle products that you would collect?
Well, we do pick up in communities, and that we, judge to be post-consumer recycling. And we're willing in the communities that we pick up to pick up 18 different items. And I do try to ask the residents in the communities to sort these items as much as possible. I let them commingle bottles and cans in a blue plastic bag, which isn't too difficult if you set out a container in your house and put the bottles and cans commingled into something. And then I let them put newspaper in a brown paper bag, and they put that out. And then it is up to them how many of the other 14 or more items that they would put out.
What happens when the recyclables come in here?
Well, we unload our trucks, some of the stuff you can see around us right now that came in yesterday. And there is a sort of truism in the field that I'm in that to get the highest and best prices, everything has to be almost perfectly sorted. So we have a sorting conveyor in our plant where several people sort the different papers, and then alternatively they sort bottles and cans on other different weeks. And I hope eventually to have 2 sorting lines all the time, one for bottles and cans and another one for the different papers.
Well, I think it's very important that we recycle, because when you take this product and put it in the landfill, toxic fumes comes up.
Well, I think it's good for the environment and for the world. We are recycling so we can give back to the community, and when less trees we have to cut down. So if we can just recycle this here and redo it, then save the trees.
The problem with recycling is that it does require effort. You have to separate it and put it out. And I just hope that more people over time are willing to do it, and in fact they are, because now we have sort of a green movement in the last couple of years in the United States, which is really great and wasn't there when I started the business 20 years ago.
Hey everybody, this is Todd V.
David Kettlewell.
And now we're into Pro-Con on recycling.
Who shall go first?
Well, I think I'll lead this one.
Okay, Mr. Pro.
I think that this gentleman is way ahead of the curve. He is just thought out just about every step. I can't even remember, was it 35 different recyclable items that they're pulling out specifically? And he's trying to find a way to turn that into a commercial outlet so that he's actually making money doing something good for the environment and preventing more stuff hitting our landfills. I mean, it's hard to argue against this whole situation.
Well, he said a very interesting word, which was trying to do something for the environment. And let's draw a line between something that really does something for the environment and something which we want to feel.
Oh, here we go.
Feel like it's good for the environment. We want to feel that it's good for the environment. I've heard about recycling programs where the stuff was all thrown together at the end anyway and went right into the dump area.
But this guy's doing it different. He's baling these and selling these as hard goods.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that I'm talking the concept of recycling.
Okay.
In its application, it tends to fall flat. I know that in the city of Akron, we had a recycle energy plant that we were burning trash for energy. That's closed now. It's gone, to my knowledge. It does not exist. A lot of these things just haven't panned out, and I think that there's some assumptions we have to take a look at. Number one, is it viable for society as a whole when you add in the transportation of gas costs and the time that's involved in gathering these recyclables and some of the toxins that are created when you actually remake paper, because it has a process where the pulp is broken up too that has its pollutants. So my point is that any way you go, you're going to be creating pollutants. And then there's the other assumption, which is that America's running out of space for trash. Now,
well, that's true.
Well,
we're shipping our trash to Africa. We're shipping our trash.
That's because we don't want it, but we didn't run out of room for it. The fact of the matter is that in the long run, 500,000 years or whatever, the trash is all going to be totally gone anyway. And
how do you make that assumption? We continue to make more. That's like saying all the people will be gone.
Stuff today will
we keep making new babies.
Yeah.
We're not going to run out of trash. There's always waste.
I think that recycling is an excellent concept in terms of making people feel good, and in the Disney-esque view of life, it just kind of tends to be a little bit flat in the real-world application. I'm not going to say it's not valid at all. I'm just going to say that it is a slippery slope. Slippery slope.
When you look at what that gentleman has,
you have mud all over your body.
You've taken it and turned it into something that almost feels dirty. But when you look at the size of just the bales in just his facility of milk jugs that would sit and not even rot for a eternity.
No, come on now, eternity. Come on now.
All right.
10,000 years, it doesn't exist.
That's a problem, though, 10,000 years.
A snap of time in the universe.
It is, but we haven't stopped putting things in. So that just that 10,000 years keeps getting years added on the back end.
All I can say is you may be a victim of some pro-environment propaganda.
I don't even know how you can think that.
All
First of all,
I'm trying to say is
even beautiful stuff done with glass.
Check the assumptions. Review the assumptions. Are we really running out of land? Is it really true that recyclables are better for the environment?
I can even question that.
I don't know.
We know we're running out of land. If you combine population growth, the amount of waste we're putting in, we're definitely running out. We're even losing the land that was made out of ice.
Well,
we're definitely running out of land because that's raising the water level.
It's not developed, of course. Is that land available for landfills?
We need that land to continue to produce oxygen in the form of trees. We can't just bulldoze everything and put garbage in it because garbage only produces methane.
From a scientific perspective, all of mankind's developed. It's only about, 2% of the landmass right now total if you took everything that mankind does, including farmland, which a lot of that does.
Why do we have this swirl of plastic out in the Pacific Ocean that's like, I don't know, the size of Texas?
Now that, I would agree with you 100%. Dumping trash in the ocean is not a good idea.
Exactly.
Because it's not the same as the land. It sits there on the land, but in the ocean, it floats around and the dolphins get into it.
Well,
we don't want to hurt the dolphins. That much we're agreed on.
So at least Dave is dolphin safe.
Yeah.
This is Barry Benjamin. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Sustainable Life.
Arts Quest. We're on a quest to find the best arts in Northeast Ohio.
I don't think I have the will to pull my company out of the hole.
We're here today at one of the grand reopenings of the Cleveland Art Museum.
Find Arts Quest on demand channel 501 under Lifestyles/Arts.